Hi everyone, Jessica here from Paper Ink Stamp and welcome back to my channel. So I'm really excited for today's video. We are participating in the CraftStash and Friends YouTube hop. This is the first hop that I've ever been a part of and I'm so excited to be able to participate in it. You will find a link in the description box down below, links to the other channels that are participating in the hop as well. So when you finish watching this video, definitely go over there, share some love, like the videos, don't forget to subscribe to the channels. If you aren't a current subscriber of mine, I'd love you to become one. It's free. Just hit the subscribe button below this video and you can click the bell as well, and that'll notify you when I upload a new video. So all of the featured products that you'll see across this YouTube hop, they are available on the CraftStash website and they currently have 20% off. So if you like the products that you're seeing in the videos, then there will be a link in the description box down below for you to go over to the CraftStash website and purchase these with that extra discount. There are other links in the description box as well. So there's a link for the CraftStash VIP. This is definitely worth a look, especially if you do shop on the CraftStash website. It's only $9.99 to join and that's per year, and you get loads of fantastic benefits with this. You get double points, you get additional discounts as well. So on all of your purchases across the year, you'll get an additional 10% off. This is something that I've signed up for literally just for that main perk. But lots of others, you get exclusive offers on there as well. You got your own sort of VIP section, you get early access to some things as well. So again, there will be a link to that in the description box down below, so just have a little read. Also there is a newsletter that you can sign up for, which will send you an email about any sales, new products that they've got coming out over on the CraftStash website as well. So that's definitely worth signing up for. So do check out the description box down below. There is lots of information down there about this CraftStash and Friends YouTube hop. Okay, so let's take a look at the products that we're going to be using in today's video. So this is the Creative Craft products and this is the Contemporary Festivities paper kit, if you like. So we have 4 different pieces within this bundle, and don't forget there is 20% off this particular bundle, which you'll find over on the CraftStash website. So let's start with the papers. So to begin with, we have the Festive Paper Pack, 8x8 in size, 190 GSM. We have 8 different designs in here, really colourful, really lovely papers, and there's 32 sheets in there, so hopefully you've got plenty of paper to decorate our box and our cards. Then we have the Perfect Colours 12. So there's 12 sheets in here. You've got 3 colours and you've got 4 of each. Again, 8x8 in size, and this is 250 GSM. So a nice, slightly thicker weight that will go nicely with our patterned paper. And then we have here, this is the A5 washi tape pack, and all of these are individual tapes that you can take off the sheets, and I believe there was 4 of these sheets in here, so again perfect for some decorating. The size box that we're going to be creating for the decorating purposes, we haven't got, it's not going to be big enough to just cover with one sheet, so we're going to sort of mix some sheets together, and these are going to be perfect to kind of hide that join. So these are going to be perfect for that, and of course decorating as well. And then we have our ephemera packs. You've got lots of pieces in here. You've got some sentiments in here, lots of different shapes, different images. But what's really nice, what I like about this one again, is the colours. It's that contemporary. This is perfect for some kids craft. If the kids want to create their own Christmas cards or want to create something for Christmas, I think this is a really great kit that they can use because it's just really nice and bright and colourful. And yeah, I think they'd have a lot of fun with it. So I'm really excited to create our box, our cards and our tags, which we're going to do in this video. The first thing we're going to do is create our box, because I want to be able to decorate that with all the pieces first, and then our cards and tags are basically going to be what we've got kind of left over, and I think that's going to be a really fun challenge. So what we're going to be creating is a sort of gift box, a holding box for 2 different size cards and then some tags, and the idea is we're going to decorate this all from the same paper pack, so everything's going to match really nicely. But the idea is the box is going to be created really nice and sturdy, so then the box can be kept, and then next Christmas the cards might not match the actual designs on the box, but that's totally okay. But the idea is then we can refill it, or if you're given it as a gift, when the person you've given it to has used up the cards and tags, again they could ask you for some more just to refill. So this is the template of what the inside of our box is going to be. The lid, so the base and the lid of it is going to be just slightly bigger than this. So we've got an area for our A2 cards, we've got an area for 4x4 4 cards, and then we're going to have an area left over for some tags. Now the way that I've measured this out, this is just my template, is rather than using the cards, and this is really important, rather than using the actual card blanks, is use the envelopes to decide what size that you need to create. We know that our envelopes are slightly bigger than the card bases, so you need to be able to house though, unless you don't want to give envelopes, of course, but if you are planning to give envelopes with it, make sure you measure this with the envelopes in mind, not just those cards. Let's get into actually constructing our box. I'm going to pop that to one side. So I've done a little bit of prep already. So we have our grey board, so we're going to be doing the grey board and wrapping it, so again to make this really nice and sturdy. We have got our white card, which I'm going to use just to wrap the pieces, and then of course we're going to use our patterned paper and all of those really lovely pieces to decorate. And then I also have all of my sort of hinges, binding strips, whatever we want to call them, to attach it all together. Of course all of these are going to be done individual, and then we're going to use these to attach them together. And all I've done is just cut what I needed and then just popped a post-it note on top, so I know the sizes and I know exactly what they're for. So if you're doing a project like this, it might be worth kind of cutting everything first so you can see what you've got. It's a lot less mess, to be honest, because I did all of this, tidied it away, and I can sort of get to the construction part and I know exactly what I'm going to be doing. So we're going to start off with our grey board here. So I'm just going to talk you through the sizes of the actual box itself. I've got 2 of these. You can see I tried sticking one piece down, but I got the measurement wrong on that one. So we've got 2 pieces of this. This is going to be for our base and our lid. And this here measures 7.5 inches by 9.75 inch. This is going to be the size of the overall box, but then we're going to build the frame to go on top of it, which is going to house all of our cards and tags. So you can see we've got just this really nice 1/4 inch lip just all the way around there. So you need 2 pieces of these. We have got then our back and our front. So these pieces here are 2 inches by 9.25 inch. So it's going to be 2 inches high. Depending on how many cards you want to be able to fit in this will determine how high you're going to make this box, but I did mine as 2 inches. So these are 2 by 9.25 inch. And then we have our side pieces here. These are again 2 inches tall by 7 inches long. And then we have 2 dividing pieces, which is going to divide up the sections. We have this one here. This is 2 inches by 7 inches again, so the same as the sides, and that is going to divide it in half. And then we've got this piece here. This is 2 inches by 4.5 inches, and this is going to divide our 4x4 cards with our tags. So it's essentially just going to sit like that. So we've got all of our pieces. So the first thing we need to do is actually wrap our grey board. So let's start with this piece here, and I'm just going to grab my backing pieces. So these are the wrap pieces. I've made these larger, of course, than this because we need to wrap the sides down. So we need 2 pieces of this, and this is 8.5 inches by 10.75 inch. And if we lay this on here, we're going to have then our pieces to be able to fold over. So I've got my glue here and my glue stand, and we're just going to cover this in glue. You could use double-sided tape if you wanted to. I'm just going to use some glue for this because I am going to pop another piece on top. So we're just going to cover this in glue. I'm just using the Nuvo glue. This is the only glue that I have, but if you want to use a more construction style glue to make sure that this stays down, then by all means do so. So I'm going to try and get that in the middle as much as possible. And what we need to do now is just trim these corners just to take the bulk off. So now we've taken our corners off, all we're going to do is just to help this along, we're just going to fold over our edges like so. We're going to start to train that paper in where it's going to sit. Now we're going to start with our longer sides. I'm going to do a bead of glue right up on that edge to make sure that it sticks really nicely, and then down the side. Let's fold that over, make sure that sticks down nicely. So just take a moment just to make sure that it's nice and stuck down. Again, you can use double-sided tape for this if you want to make sure that it is going to stay down. You could use red liner tape if you wanted to as well, but you know, using some glue, again, like I said, some construction glue will work just as well. So again, we're going to do another bead and then all over that flap, and then we're just gonna, so I just start right on the edge and just bring that over, so you can see that it just needs a little bit of work to hold it down. So I'm just going to wrap this piece here on screen, and then I'm going to go off screen. So we want to make sure that I can get everything done within this video. I'm going to go off screen and wrap the rest of it. So now, oh, I nearly forgot there. So with our corner pieces, just like when you make albums and things like that, we just want to bring in those corners just so we get a nice, neat finish on our edge. So I'm just pressing that in with my bone folder for a really nice finish there. Let's just go back to this side. That's where I had my glue. So again, in there, just to give us a nice edge to it. So there we have our wrap. So there's our one side. So you want to make sure your surface is nice and clean so you don't get it dirty. But that is a really simple wrap. And already now we're starting to sturdy up, if that's a word, our grey board. Now, just to finish off this piece here, what I have also got is our piece which is going to hide this piece of the grey board. So we need 2 of these, and this is 7.5 inches by 9 3/4 inch. But I did just take a smidge off just to make it ever so slightly smaller, and it's going to sit on there really, really nicely. So again, we're going to add glue all the way around the edge of this, and then we're just going to lay this really nice and evenly, and it's just going to make a really, really neat finish on here. And there we have our wrapped base or lid. They're both going to be exactly the same. So super easy just to wrap it, make it nice and neat there. Again, all that is just 2 pieces of cardstock to do that. So I'm going to leave this to one side just for all the glue to set really nicely. And what I'm going to do off camera now is I'm going to take all the other pieces of my grey board and I'm going to get them wrapped in the exact same way. Here are, let's just bring them back, all of our wrapped pieces. So we've got our lid and our base there. We've got our back and our front pieces, and then we have our 2 side pieces there. So it really doesn't take very long at all to get those wrapped. So now what we can do is start the construction of the actual inside frame, and we're going to do the frame separate to this, and then we are going to add these pieces, the frame when it's all done, onto our base and then attach our lid. So we're going to put the lid and the base to one side for the moment. So then I'm going to grab my hinge pieces here. So you can see I've got quite a few of these. So all of these here are by 1 inch. We're going to score at 1/2 inch, but they are different lengths here. So what I've got is, I'll just run through them quickly. I've got one which is 1 inch by 9 1/4 inch. I've got 3 pieces here which is 1 by 7 inch. I have got these 2 pieces here which is 1 by 4 3/4 inches. I've got 6 which is 1 and 4.5 inches. Then I have got 2 which is 1 by 2.5 inch. And then I've got 4 which is 1 inch by 2 inch. So they are going to be all the hinges that we're going to need to attach our frame together, but then also to attach our frame to our base and then to add our lid. All we're going to do is pop this onto our scoreboard, and we're literally just going to score at 1/2 inch across all of these pieces, and say these are going to be what's going to attach our all of our pieces together. So all we're going to do then is, like, this piece here is going to attach our lid onto our base. So all I'm going to do now is just go through and just score and fold all of these hinge pieces at 1/2 inch. So now what we're going to do is just cut off the edges. So I've just folded it in half and yeah, just made a snip on those. Okay, so we've done all of that. So you want to just make sure that you're doing them in the right direction. So then you have pieces that look like this. So now we can get started actually constructing this here. So we're going to leave our dividers to one side for the moment because we're going to do the sides and yeah, we're going to do the sides and the back. Okay, so we're going to take our 1 inch by 2 inch pieces, but I actually think I haven't cut enough of these, so I'm just going to use up these 4 that I've cut here. I think I just missed these ones off, so I think I just need to cut 4 more of these. We're going to use the 4 first to create our frame. So I'm going to just take one of these. I'm going to add some glue for the moment just to 1/2, and I'm going to start off just one of the sides, and basically this score edge that we've got is going to sit right up against the edge of our piece. Now this is going to obviously get covered with some patterned paper and that, so but this is why I'm using white, so it's all just exactly the same here. So I'm just going to fold this over. I'm going to add the glue. And I'm making sure that I've got all of the wraps where we've wrapped it over is going to be on the inside. Now I'm going to take one of the longer pieces and I'm going to lay that on top. I'm just going to pick it up just to make sure that we get it really nice and square, flush. We want this because obviously this is going to make then our perfect box. So let's just open that back up. So we can use our bone folder just to really get that in there. Just want to make sure that that is going to set nicely. Like so. Then let's take another one and we're just going to repeat that same process. So there is our box. So you would have seen me there just attach the wrong piece to the other wrong piece. So I was adding a side to another side rather than to the length of it. So we are obviously just a little squiffed, but that's what we're our dividers here are going to come into play really nicely. This is going to help to make it nice and square. So all I need to do now is, because I didn't cut enough of the 1 by 2 inch, you're going to need 4 of those, sorry, 8 of them rather than 4. So I'm going to just cut those and then get those glued on to our divider pieces. Okay, so I've cut my extra 4 pieces. So now this is one of our dividers. This is the bigger one, the 2 by 7 inch. And what we're actually going to do is have our hinge pieces here go in the 2 different directions. So we're going to do one, you can see I've just glued this to go into the left, and the other side we're going to have it just onto our right side. So what I'm going to do is then glue this piece down. And this is just going to help with the stability of the box and the frame itself. So again, I'm going to do the same thing right up against that edge. So if we look at this again, we've got one hinge going one way and the other going the other way. So now, again, let's just bring back in our template. So again, this is going to sit in the middle. So like I said, I've just shuffled that in there. Let's just try and get this lined up nicely because I've measured this again, excuse my head. So I've measured this again so then we can get our spots correct in terms of what's going to fit for our cards and envelopes. And then I'm just going to use the line that I've got on there just to help position this in the right spot. So we're going to add some glue here and here, and I'm going to be brave here and try and do it almost at the same time. So we're just going to hold them back on themselves. Gonna pop it in, line it up with my line, and just get that in the perfect spot. Absolutely brilliant. So that's going to help keep it sturdy that way. Now we're going to do the exact same thing with this one here. So again, if you build yourself a template, you can make this and it's just going to make life so much easier, certainly when you get to this point here. Square that up. So we've got a tiny little bow there, but I think my glue is dried, so that's going to have to stay. So that's absolutely fine. So, you know, this is handmade, so it's not going to be absolutely perfect. Yeah, so it's a tiny bit off, but again, I'm perfectly okay with that. But we've got a really great box here. And again, that's just going to keep it nice and sturdy. So we've got a place for our A2 size cards, our 4x4 inch cards, and then our tags, which can really be whatever size we want them to be. Now comes in the rest of the hinges, because what we need to do now is actually attach our box onto our base. The large one, so the 9 1/4 inch, that's going to be attached for our lid itself. So actually maybe I wanted to put that on there first, but what I might do is just cut a little slit into that. So what I would suggest is probably adding that piece in before you add your divider piece in, but all I'm going to do is literally just cut a little slit in that, but I'm going to do that one afterwards. But then all of these pieces here, so these are the 1x7, these are going to correspond with the length of our pieces here. So I'm going to take just this bit here as our base because I had it that way where I put my divider pieces in. Okay, so I'm going to turn it over and all I'm going to do is then start to add these pieces all to make a base, really. So this one is going to come in here, and you want it to again line up. Oh, apologies there, my battery died. So we've just got this piece in here, and we're just making it nice and flush with that piece. Now this one here is going to go on that side. Okay, now we're going to add our pieces here and here, and these are going to be the 4 3/4. So these 2 pieces here, and then basically they're just going to slot down in there like so. So I'm going to go ahead and glue these ones down. So if we turn this back over, what we have now is a nice base. So all of this inside is going to get covered, but we've got a nice base there to be able to attach this frame onto our base piece. Now what we're going to do is the pieces now using the rest of the hinges for the 4x4 section and our tag section. Okay, so there we have all of our pieces on here. So now we can just fold this over and we've got all of our bottom pieces. So again, this is all going to get covered up with our patterned paper, so in the base and then on those sides there as well. So what we're going to do now is just to keep everything nice and square before we actually stick this onto our base, is we're going to attach just a corner of each of these pieces to each other. So we're going to add just a blob of glue just to keep these pieces down. So now by doing that, that has just completely made this a nice solid frame. So just make sure that they are down. Okay, so what we're going to do now is actually attach this onto our base piece. So we are going to turn this back over, so you can see we've got our nice frame pieces here, and we're literally just going to add glue. Okay, so we want to do this kind of quickly because we don't want our glue to dry, but then we also want to make this a good job. So I'm just going to stand up. So I know I've got a 1/4 inch gap all the way around. Now really it's just sort of the front and the sides that we want to worry about, because you think the back would be, you know, is just the back, but we want to make sure that we can try. So we're just going to keep just wiggling this around. What you could do is make your lip a little bit bigger if you wanted to decorate that as well. So I think I'm happy with that, and the fact that it's all white at the moment as well means that you it's all going to sort of blend in nicely if it's just slightly off. So I'm going to use my bone folder, and I'm just going to go all the way around and make sure that is really nicely stuck down. So there, hopefully you can see this, so there is the base of our box. So it's just come together really, really easily. I absolutely love how this has turned out. Of course you've got all of the pieces on the inside, but we're going to be decorating those. But I want to just get this actual frame, the actual frame of the box finished first. So that's going to be then putting our lid on. So again, this is the 1 inch by 9 1/4 inch, and like I said before, I'd put this on before putting in our divider piece, really. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to line it up. So let's just turn it around, because I want to have the tags at the back, so this is going to be the back of it. So I'm just going to kind of roughly line it up. So what I'm going to do is cut a triangle out of that piece there. So I'm only cutting one piece here, and let's bring this down. What that's going to do is that is going to sit just either side of, hopefully you can see that, it's just going to sit either side of our divider piece, but our top piece, which is going to be attached to our lid, is going to just remain as one full piece. Okay, so what we want to do now is we're going to add glue, whoops, to these folds here. So we're going to attach it to our frame first, and then we're going to bring our lid to it, because if you do it the other way round, you might not get the placement just right, and that means then your lid will be a bit skew. So we're going to add that down in there. So now we want to get our lid. So what we're going to do is add our glue, all onto the top. Then we want to get our lid. So I'm going to do, where I've wrapped it in, that's going to be on the inside. I'm actually just going to lift it onto its side. So there is our lid on. And you know, so it doesn't stay up, that's because of just this hinge mechanism. What you could do is put it right to the back if you wanted to, but I've got a really nice little lip there, as I have all the way around. So I'm really happy with how this has turned out. I think this is absolutely brilliant. You don't then need to put cards or anything in this. You could literally use this as like a jewellery box or something. Like, the possibilities of what you could now do with this are completely endless. Everything should have dried nicely. Everything should be nice and strong. I'm super happy with how this has come out. I just think it's really, really great, and it can be used for not just having cards. You could turn this into a jewellery box, any sort of keepsake box. It just all then depends how you want to decorate it. But yeah, I just absolutely love how this has finished out. But now we are going to decorate it. So I have already cut down all of my pieces here. So I'll give you the measurements as we go along and sort of decorate it up. Of course, our paper pack is 8 by 8 inches, and the top of this here is 9 3/4. So obviously we're gonna have to do a little bit of sort of creatively putting pieces together. So what I have done is, so we've got a piece of patterned paper which is gonna go here, and then we have I think it was this piece is gonna go just there. Now I did think about doing a nice coloured matte and layer. I think would have looked nice underneath this green section, but again I would have had to bring in other cardstock. So I have had to bring in just one other piece, which is this one here. I thought it was as close really to that piece. This one's a little bit more reddy, obviously this one's a little bit more pinky. Excuse me, but I thought it would go really nice. This is just what I had from my stash, and this is just going to go on the bottom. I didn't really want to waste any of the patterned paper to go on the bottom of this, so I just pulled out this piece here. So just to begin with, let's just turn over our box and glue this piece down. And of course then by adding then all of these mattes and layers, all we're going to do is just make this box even more sturdy, which I think is going to be brilliant. So this piece here, I didn't actually measure. This one is 9.5 inches by 7.25 inch. So I've done that. So it's got a very small border on this. Again, it's the bottom, so not really too worried about that. But the top and the rest of it is going to have a little bit more. So as I said, we've got these two pieces to bring on the top. Again, you can see we've got a bigger lip on here. This one is 7 by 7 inch for that piece, and then this piece is 7 inch by 2.25, and that then makes up our full width that we need. Okay, so we've got the top. So what I want to do is to really hide this joint, and I thought that actually using the washi tape would be a really great way of doing that. So what I'm going to do first of all is just turn both of these over. I'm just going to grab a little bit of tape just to hold this in place. You want to make sure that this is really, really lined up. Just add that to the back. So that is just holding that where we need it to be. And then let's decide. So we need a vertical pattern here. I'm thinking because this paper is quite busy, I'm quite liking the contrast of this one. Unravel it. And I'm just going to try and get this really nice and straight. So because you can slightly see underneath this, I'm actually going to put this just on the pink edge. So we've got just a really nice divide between there. Okay, and there we have our front cover. So we are going to decorate the top of this a little bit as well. We're going to do something over here, maybe with a piece of the ephemera. But now we can go ahead and do our sides. So what we've got for the sides is we've got these two pieces here. Let's just move all of these ones out the way. So we need this piece, that one, And then those are to decorate the rest of it. So what I wanted to do was actually just carry on this lid design down onto the front, because obviously we still need to have the additional cardstock that we've got like here, because this is of course the same length. So what I thought I'd do is just carry on that design with the washi tape as well. So I've cut 2 pieces, and what you want to do here, if you've got directional paper, don't forget to cut it in that direction. So we've got this piece here. This is 1 3/4 inch by 7 inches, and hopefully you can see that. That is gonna go there. Then we've got this piece here. This is 2 inch by 1 3/4 inch. And that one is going to go there, and then we're going to add that washi tape again. It's just to, like I said, to carry on that design going down. So I'm actually going to do the same thing now, because we've got a lot of the patterned paper. You could even have done the sides in the same, you know, papers here, but I wanted to kind of add it in. But yeah, I just wanted to have this portion be the same. So we're going to take another sheet, and we're going to take that same washi tape, and whatever we've got left over, what we can do is just pop it back on our sheet. Let's get this piece on, and what I want it to do is there or thereabouts, I want the washi tape line to match up at the back. So obviously carrying the design on, where you've got the front, that pink piece is going to be on the left hand side. Obviously when you look at the back and turn it this way, that pink is on the right hand side. When we look at it, let's just turn it this way, so that pattern is going all the way around, which I just absolutely I love that. I love how that is looking. So that is that. So I'm going to go ahead and pop the sides on now, and then we can get started decorating the inside. So these side pieces here, these are 1 3/4 by 6 3/4. So everything has just come down 1/4 inch in size, just to get that really nice border. You can do it a little smaller if you want, but I'm quite happy with that 1/4 inch. So that is the outside of our box. You could even use this as like a little chocolate box or something. I absolutely love how this is looking. So for the inside now, I'm going to do the exact same for our lid here. I've picked 2 different papers. So we've got this one here. It's gonna be a little harder to show you. So we're gonna do this piece here with the green, and I'm just going to do the same again. So it's the same when you open it, is we're going to have that plain on the right hand side. So these pieces are exactly the same size as what we've got for our cover. So 7 by 7 is this patterned paper, and 2 1/4 by 7 for this piece here, and that's going to fit really nicely, and it's going to help hide and strengthen our hinge at the bottom. So I'm going to add those pieces in there. There we have our lid, so that matches the front of our box with our lid, which I just absolutely love how this is looking. And now we're just going to decorate the inside pieces here. So if I just lean this back slightly just to help keep that lid open, just like so. So we've got our 3 sections in here. So we've got our A2, our 4x4, and our tags. So because hopefully these compartments are going to be filled up, I didn't want to use the patterned paper. I thought I'd use some plain. So we've got this one here. This is 4.5 inches by 6 3/4 inch, and these are all going to go onto the bottom. They are going to hide everything that we've got going on in there. It's going to go over our tabs. So I'm just going to put this down flat, move this around. So I've still done this where I've still got a border just to make sure that it all went in there. It is going to tidy it up nicely, but if you want to make it a little bit bigger, of course, go ahead and do that. So that is that compartment. Then for our 4x4, this is 4 1/4 by 4 1/4 because the compartment is 4.5 inch. And then for our green tag, this is 2.5 inches by 4 1/4 inch. Okay, so there we have our base pieces, and then what I've done is just to coordinate with those papers, we've got all of our pieces that are going to go on the inside of our walls, which is going to hide then all of our hinges and things like that. So then I tried to coordinate the papers with the colours that we've got in those bases, and now I'm going to go ahead and get these ones glued in. So that is the box kind of decorated just with all the patterned papers and that. We've got still some decoration to do on here. I'm thinking about adding a little bit of gold, like fake gold hardware on here as well. We're going to do a little bit of decoration here on top. Then on the inside, I think the inside, it looks absolutely beautiful. I'm thinking now maybe I should have done this on the outside just to kind of lift the brightness of the outside. So I'm definitely going to add some nice bright images on here. But with all the compartments then, with the base and the sides covered, I think it just finishes this up really, really lovely. I'm so thrilled with how this has come out, and I hope you guys like it too. I'm going to create the cards and the tags. They're just going to be pretty basic cards, to be honest. Nothing with too much bulk, because obviously they need to actually get into the compartment itself, and the tags then as well. And then I'll come back and kind of put it all together. So I'm pretty much just going to be using the leftover papers and the ephemera and everything that we've got, which is quite a lot. I've got quite a lot of stuff left over. I want to see how much of it I can use. I'll film a little bit of it, but I think it's going to get quite repetitive, and I think this video is going to be long enough as it is, because this was quite a big project to sort of get the box itself done. But yeah, I'm absolutely thrilled. I hope you guys like it as well. I'm so thrilled with how this has turned out. I just think it's going to be absolutely wonderful for storing yeah, cards and tags, again, or anything else, some keepsakes, jewelry and things like that. I think yeah, just the box itself has got a lot of possibilities with it. So yeah, I'm going to get cracking with the cards, and we're going to be able to fill our box up. Okay, so I've been playing with everything that we had left over. This is literally just the handfuls of ephemera I've got left. I've got some just cut into pieces here, and then all I've got is just these full sheets left. So I've still got plenty to go, which we can use another time. But what I have created, first of all, if I just show you, is some tags. So I've just gone through, again, this was using all the scraps actually from the cards as well. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 tags, but do you know what? We can fit quite a few more still in our box. So I cut down all of the pieces of coloured card that I could fit into this size tag, which is roughly 3.5 inches by about 2 inches. So all the pieces that I could cut down from the coloured card, I did that. And I'll leave a link in the description box down below. These are the tags from Creative Craft products. And then I just cut down a bunch more just from some white as well. And yeah, I just went through and just put on some of the patterned paper, put on some gold just to tie in with what we've got on the box, just still sort of like thin little strips and that, and just pop some of the ephemera on those pieces as well. So I'm really happy with these. Obviously I've punched a hole in the top as well. You can give, if you're going to give this as a gift, put some ribbon in the box or some twine, rather than sort of pre-cutting it. It might be easier just to have like a roll of twine in there maybe, or ribbon, whatever. But tags are really easy to create if you've got lots of leftovers. So I sort of did the cards, put the cards together, and then kind of did these, but I just wanted to show you these first. So we can go ahead and pop these into our box. Just in terms of the box, you can see that I've added some gold. So we've got just on the edges here, hopefully you can see that, just turn over. So I die cut a circle scallop, literally just scored down the middle and put that on the edge, and that really helps to keep the edges nice and sturdy. But I think yeah, I just think it adds a nice little detail. And then I cut another circle and actually just cut it into quarters and pop them on the corners here, you can see. And then I just did the 2 in there as well, and I like how it looks. I think it just gives it a nice little finish, makes it look a little posher. Obviously we do still have our front. I do have this a big sentiment here which I might use, but I've actually used up pretty much most of the large ephemera, so I might just do a sentiment, or yeah, use maybe that to go on the front. But anyway, so what we can do is let me just pop something under here so it leans back. There we go. So these will actually stand up at a little bit of an angle in there, but the idea is, I mean, you can even see, look how many more tags you could fit in there. You know, this is going to be brilliant, but we're going to pop those down. But again, even we've literally got still so much space we could pack in here. Pop it to the side. You can pop your little bit of twine or whatever just in this portion here. But yeah, loving how that is looking so far. So what we're going to do now is put the cards together. So I've already sort of picked all the pieces that I want to use together, and cut all my patterned paper down and everything like that. So I've got those for the 4x4s, and I've also got then the A2 size cards as well. The A2 size cards as well, to put down. So what I'm going to actually do now is I'm just going to speed through this bit, because you know, this is just kind of real simple making cards using a paper kit, so there's nothing really that I've done too special, but you can kind of see, you know, what I've done here. So I'm just going to literally speed through this bit, and then we can kind of put them in the box and take a look at the finished project. Okay, so there we have our cards, our tags, and our box finished. I've just zoomed out so we can kind of see everything hopefully a little bit better now. So I have to say, I think this is one of my favourite things that I've created for a while now. I love how this has turned out. I am thinking maybe about creating one just for birthdays for the year, because I am a little bit of a nightmare remembering people's birthdays. So yeah, I think maybe doing one, and kind of when I make a card I can pop it into the box and it's there ready to go for that person's birthday. So obviously we've got our decoration on the outside. Now I've zoomed out, hopefully you can see kind of the fake hardware that I've put on. I like these on the edge, not just for how it looks, but for practical purposes of really strengthening those corners. So hopefully this is just gonna last that bit longer. And then of course we have got the inside, so I'm just going to pop this back underneath just to keep this lid open. But yeah, we've got all our compartments on the inside. I love how sturdy the inside is now with these compartments, very, very sturdy. I love how they look, putting the plain paper on the bottom and the patterned paper on the sides. I think you're more likely to see the sides. And then of course up here you can add something up there if you wanted to. But yeah, I just absolutely love how this has come out. So I've already taken you through the tags that I created. So we've got all of these here, and again, plenty of room in here to create some more to pop in. So we'll pop those in. Of course we don't have to worry about envelopes or anything for these, but you can put some twine just in there. There's a little bit of space for that. So in terms of our cards, obviously you know, this is 2 inches high. That's got to accommodate for your envelopes as well. If you're going to put envelopes in here, you might decide not to, but I am putting the envelopes in with mine. So we'll start off with our square envelopes. Let's just move this back a little bit. So you saw me create those. So I created the bigger cards first, and then these used up the scrap cards that I'd cut into. Some of these are very simple, just with the sentiment on there. Yeah, it's really nice to have the plain paper with the patterned paper and the ephemera there as well. You did see that I added some sentiments to the bigger cards. But yeah, so I created 8 of these little cards, and again, look, I've still got plenty of stuff left, not so much in the ephemera, but in the patterned paper, certainly I've still got a lot left. But you know, so I've created 8 of these, and we've got our 8 envelopes, and like I said, I made the box size to fit our envelopes. That is the most important thing in there. If you're going to add the envelopes, it needs to be able to fit and house those in there. So we can do that, and then we can pop our cards in there. And yeah, I've still got a good amount of space. Now, if you did these flat, so added no dimension whatsoever, you could probably fit tons of cards in here. I still added the foam as I normally would, and I've still got space in here as well, which is absolutely brilliant. And then of course we have our bigger cards here, our A2 size cards. So I created 10 altogether of these. So I have my 10 envelopes, which again you can see fit in there really nicely. Then we can add those cards in there as well, and you can see that I added a stamp in here as well, just for my stash, just to add a sentiment to the ones that just had the ephemera. And I also really love this layout as well, where you just have that portion up there, leave this portion blank, and then you've got room just to stamp a sentiment. Super easy. But yeah, so absolutely look at that. Let's just move it. I'll hold the lid up now. But I'm so pleased with how this has turned out with all the cards as well. So in here we've got altogether 18 cards and envelopes. We've got 16 tags in there. We've obviously got the box, which we can keep and refill again for next year. The patterns obviously aren't going to match the paper. I love at the moment that these papers match this box. I think that is absolutely just, I think it just finishes it really nicely, but obviously we can just refill this again next year. So I really loved using this Contemporary Festivities paper kit. Again, you can find in the description box down below the link to pick up this bundle. You're going to have 20% off, so I would highly recommend going and having a look. Don't forget to check out the other YouTubers in this YouTube hop as well. This is the CraftStash and Friends YouTube hop, so go over to their channels, watch their video, give them some love, subscribe. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I'd absolutely love you to subscribe. Hit that button. It's absolutely free, it doesn't cost you anything, but it does really help to support my channel. And don't forget as well, in the description box down below you'll find the links to the CraftStash VIP, only $9.99 a year. You get really great discounts, you get exclusive deals, you get early access as well, so definitely go ahead and read that. All about that is something that I have signed up for in the past as well, was to get that 10% off with every purchase across the year, so that really does make a difference. And also don't forget to sign up for the CraftStash newsletter as well. So yeah, that's going to be it for this video. So yeah, the last thing I got to do actually, sorry, is just decorate the front of this, but to be honest, I'm still happy with just how it looks on its own. But yeah, if I get around to adding something decorative to the top, then I will. But yeah, I'm still pretty happy with how this is looking. But yeah, that's going to be it for this video. So yeah, don't forget to head over to the next person in this hop and everyone else in the hop as well, and share some love with those guys too. So that's going to be it for this video. So thanks very much for watching, and happy crafting.